Good morning, passport holders. Yes, I'm still in the same clothes as yesterday. Today, August 9th, 2017, making today day 1013 of the vlogs, and tonight was weird on every front. Again, super slow, like super duper slow. I think a grand total of 11 calls today. But here's the funny part is that I did get a sale, and all in all about $160, and I did everything I could to not get the sale. At a certain point my mentor had to step in and be like, take this, like please take their money. And it came down to a discounting situation. I despise discounting up one side and down the other, and as a result I try and avoid doing it at all costs. I was already giving this guy a huge bulk discount because he was giving me a number of domains, and the issue became about $80 on a total deal structure, $80 a month, so about $1,000, and I didn't want to give it up. And my mentor, my supervisor, my effective supervisor, she stepped in and said, "You're processing this. I need you to process this because my metrics are somewhat based on yours too." And so, with that knowledge, I did so. More interesting though was the fire alarm at the end of my shift. So that was interesting. Last 15 minutes of my shift, wasn't even on a phone, wasn't in front of a computer. And then the final piece, and the most interesting of them all, was talking with my former trainer. He was working pretty much all night in order to provide additional support and training for the other guys who are surviving. One of them we lost tonight, so we're down to just the three of us, which is a bit of a bummer because he was the most technically talented of the other three guys who survived training and got out on the floor, and quite frankly I genuinely liked him. So it's just kind of a bummer to not be able to see him on a regular basis, but he's making choices the same way that I'm kind of making choices right now. My trainer had a lot of perspective on kind of how or what I can do inside the system, but most importantly in my mind, he said straight up, don't worry about the 90 days. You should apply for the social media director job that they have posted. With your background, with your experience, there's every reason that you should be in the mix there. So he asked me to tell him when I apply so that he can back channel it and make sure that HR doesn't get in the way relating to me not being at the company for 90 days because of, again, my experience having done social media for billion-dollar brands. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me not to at least get a cup, as the phrase says, even though I don't drink coffee, but get a cup of coffee with whomever is making the decision. So it's one of those things where I've got to move pretty quickly on this. I feel like that if I could get it done by the end of the week, I'd be really benefited by it. So I'm going to create a pitch deck the same way that I did for Collective Digital Studios, the same way that I did for VaynerMedia way back in the day, the same way that I did for Vima and a handful of other kind of companies that I've wanted to work for or was employed by in some form or fashion, in order to get that all going. So not today, today, but not right now. Right now I'm in full unwind mode because I'm pumped. Like I only got to make like another $131 in sales between here and the end of the month to hit my goal, which is great. Even though I tried to sabotage it. But I want to take a little time to enjoy some TV and get a lot of sleep because, like, even though I've been getting good sleep past day or so, it's kind of been like, I don't know, it's been weird. So I feel like the best thing for me to do is stay consistent, make sure that I'm in bed by 8 a.m. instead of that shifting that I did yesterday where I was in bed, I don't know, 9 or so, whatever it was. So getting that 8 a.m. hard set, that is the time I go to bed 100% of the time, regardless of what else is going on, is super important so that then that way the afternoons I can do all the work, the vlog edit, that kind of stuff. But I hope you guys are having a tremendous, what is this now, Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, if you're, as this is being recorded, Thursday if you're watching on day of release. Let's get this one started. All right, guys, obviously back up and functional again. 8.5 hours of sleep, and this time I actually feel rested, which is a tremendous thing, which to me, once again, indicates that the conversation that I had with Carrie yesterday, or technically, I guess, very early this morning, was definitely needed, that I felt very heard, and that there's a real plan of attack on how to move forward on both fronts with the company. And so to be able to sit there and have that feels really good. Unfortunately, though, I did struggle to go to sleep because while I was doing my wind down, I started thinking about and outlining what I want in this pitch deck, what I want in there to prove not only that I know what to do with their brand, but the experiences that I've had in the past. And so have a full outline, have done some pulling of old content, old presentations that I've done, documentation of the actual performance of social media stuffs that I have done over the years, in order to let these people know that, like, I'm no joke in this space. Like, I've got real chops, I've got real experience, I've worked with real big brands. And so, stepping into this role would not be an extension or an overextension on my capabilities. So, that being said, since I've gotten all functional, I finished the vlog edit, export, upload, it's live, it's good to go. I have both files from Clintus from yesterday and today back for his vlog, so I've got to do final review on those two. So I should get that done, no problem. I've got to eat, and I've got to finish the little bit of coding, the final little piece that I wanted to get done last night that I almost missed the beginning of work for. I would love to get that finished. And then I have a couple of tiny little house chores, right? Just taking out the trash, that kind of thing that I want to do before I leave for work today. It's currently 6:20, 6:25 now, and so that's kind of where things are going to land, guys. Again, I apologize, but when I need to sleep, and when, again, if I'm sleeping 8+ hours, it's because my body, A1, needs it for some reason, or my mind needs it for some reason, and then 2, when I don't have the ability to shoot for 8.5, 10 hours, it makes it really hard to do these vlogs, but I'm hoping that changes, right? I'm super hopeful that if I can get this social media job at the company, things get a lot better, because no one's going to really notice or care if I'm recording inside the office, because it's going to be my job to record inside the office. So going to be one of those interesting things where we'll figure it out. But pumped with it, pumped with where everything's at, pumped with the idea of being able to work on something productive when it is slow at work tonight, aka this pitch deck. So I'm going to be able to write all that out. My hope is, with this outline and me already pulling kind of example content, that I could have this finished really, honestly, tomorrow night. I think is a real honest target. But the kicker is that I have Friday day, which I may end up staying up super late after tomorrow night's shift in order to finish it all, apply officially for the job, and then tell my former trainer that I applied so that he can go and backdoor it as well, get it directly into the CMO's hands. So super excited about that, and I love that we could do that. And if they're already interviewing people, which they might already be, because who knows how long this has been up, that I might be getting an interview as early as next week, which, it could be interesting. So I don't want to delay, and I want to move very, very quickly, and so I'm excited about this, guys. Like, it's a job that I'm built for, top to bottom. So we'll see. Hopefully. I'd be really pumped to be in this position with this company, with the trajectory they're on. It would be a really perfect fit, and it would take away a lot of the financial concerns that I have, to be absolutely honest, right? So, I'd more than 2.5 times what I'm currently making at the company, which would make a massive difference. I can instantly move out of this apartment, which I would be a huge fan of. So we'll see. But all right, I gotta go. All right, guys, got food done, got a couple of chores done, so super pumped about that. And I also finished the final clean out. If I'm unable to pull name servers from a domain name within 1.5 seconds, it just deletes it from the database. So that means that all 4 pieces for the initial kind of setup are completely handled. Tomorrow, in my coding session before I go to work, or potentially when I get home, depending upon how I'm feeling about things, I will combine those 4 pieces. So getting the domain name registrar, cleaning domain name registrars, getting the name servers, and cleaning those if there are no name servers within the allotted time frame, into one massive script. And so then at that point, all I'll do is I'll import, probably 25,000 or 100,000 domain names, and then just kick it before I go to work, and it'll just grind while I'm away, which will be super fun for me to watch. And so, yeah, like, if this works, and if I can do this at the kind of scale that I'm thinking is possible, this is going to be really cool. Like, I'm going to be able to run something like 250,000 domain names a day if what I'm seeing on performance-wise is going to be the case. And I'm using some domain names that are very primarily used in the Chinese and Japanese markets, which are markets that I'm not particularly interested in interacting with at this point. So, because I'm using like leading zeros, like 0000A134.com. And so those are very traditionally used in those kinds of markets where they had to use something. And since they don't use Roman characters, numbers is kind of where they defaulted to. But scripts are running fine. They're running really fast. So I added, just to test everything fully through again, I added about 350 additional domain names into the database and then walked them through the 4 pieces. And within 5 minutes had results for all of them. Super cool. So pumped about it, excited about kind of where this is going, because now we're getting to the next big piece, which is going to be next week's work sessions, which is me building out and me getting the Google API credentials, which is not hard to do, and then building out the JSON request. And I haven't written JSON in probably, I want to say like 5 years. So that'll be a struggle, but I'm sure I'll get it right. And then once I get the arrays back from Google, then that's all about updating the database again for the malware listing. And so, yeah, if we can start to go down this path and get these done very quickly, it's going to be very, very cool to start to add, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of domain names to the system and have them all working in conjunction with one another. It's going to be super cool. But I will end the vlog here and say thank you so much for your time and your attention. I appreciate them both. It's been a good day so far, and I'm hoping that I have a good night at work. If I close the sale, great. If I don't, I got plenty of time to work on this pitch deck, which I'm super excited to get working on. Remember though, you never stumble upon opportunity by standing still, so go do cool stuff. Bye for now.